Hello friends, good evening. Hey Suman. So if you can hear me as usual on a Friday evening, just say hi. We already have 6 people, 7. So a lot of people joining us today. So if your weekend was good, even at work or even in trading or in your investment portfolio, just tell me how it was in the comment section. I had a really good week at office. Not a very good week, but yeah, kind of okay week with lots of work. And my week was really good in terms of trading as well. So I'd love to know how your trading was this week, how your investment portfolio was. And thank you for really joining on a Friday evening to listen to me. I hope I'm adding value to your learnings. Hey, it's Suman. Hi, Dinesh. Hi, Tabitha. Hi, Santosh. Hey, Shankar. Hey, Vijay. Hi, Turtle Trader. Hi, Shiva. Hi, Hemant. Hi, Ubiquitous. Ubiquitous, if you can tell me your name, I can call you by your name. And I'm sorry, you asked me a question on Mastek yesterday, and my view on it. I forgot to give that view. I will give it today. Hi, MS Chigwani. Hi, Mayur. Hi, Santosh. Santosh says book 2400 CE and mine 3000 CE. Good. I don't trade options because I don't have the time, but that's really good. Hi, Anbu. Okay, I think. Hey, Arish. Nice to have Arish. Arish is one of my good friends. Okay, let's get started. We have 26 people. So let's get started with the Nifty Outlook first. So what happened today? Like I told yesterday that Nifty might pause because we had this doji here. Now after 2 strong days in an index, and if you have a doji, that's signs of pause in this uptrend, right? So right now the uptrend is still intact, very much intact. Today was inside bar, and we kind of closed, around 16,238. And for the week, actually, we had a very good candle. So I think that was a nice, beautiful green candle. And we finally come out of this range, which I've been speaking about in my newsletter for many weeks. And this is a really good close. Okay, now just switching to the 5-minute charts, just to show what happened today. Now, yesterday we spoke about one trend line, which was this one, right? So we did see that yesterday evening, just before close, we did break this trend line, and that was also one of the reasons why I said we might take a pause, because this uptrend, picked up pace, and the speed of which this trend was moving up was at its peak here, right? So this trend line steepness, if you are aware of the steepness of angles in the trend lines, as and when they get steeper, and if they break, the trend momentum is getting slower, right? So the momentum in Nifty actually peaked here, and then it's just been going, sideways. But again, this trend line broke, and now we are also going sideways. And yesterday we said that we will not go long. We'll go long only above this point. All right. So if you want to really buy options or buy futures, then that's the level to go long. And if you have to go short, then we'll go short or buy put options, or go short futures is only below this. But otherwise, this range is going to continue for a few more days, I feel, and it's a very good time to sell options. Sell call options above 16,350 or short put options below 16,200, right? Because this range might go on for probably another couple of days. Now I also spoke about another trend line yesterday, which was this point. Right now we are broken below this as well. Now I did post today on Twitter, and if you see, we kind of took support and we've broken this also. So the momentum is completely down, and that's why you saw this red candle on the daily charts. And again, the plan will still remain the same. We will not go short or will not buy put options until we break 16,200, right? You can short put options, below 16,200 for now, but if we break 16,200, we can get a strong momentum, and that would be really favorable, right? But also on the long side, I think that we might, go some more time sideways, and we might also probably test this trend line over here, right? So I think we are heading towards that trend line. Now this would be a confluence of supports, because as and when we come here, this could be a confluence of supports, and we might take support here and reversal. I just see this as a time correction. It's not a deep price correction yet. It's hardly a 100-point correction from the top, which is pretty normal, and we might probably go sideways, test this zone here, either breakdown or breakout. But unless we break out, I don't really see going along as a probability. Maybe if we head tomorrow, around 200 odd levels, then you can see a short-term target of 60-70 points, and we head to the upper end of the channel. But otherwise, there's not much until we break out of this or break down from this channel. So from a trading perspective, the long plan will remain that we break out from this, then you can go really buy options or go long. And if you want to go short, then I think 16,200 is the level to watch out for. And if you break below 16,200 and the trend line, then probably we are heading lower, right? So that's my Nifty Outlook. So if you have any questions on the Nifty Outlook, just let me know in the comment section. And if you did trade, also let me know if I'm really helpful, right? Also, as I also spoke about a parallel channel yesterday. I'll just highlight that again, right? So this is the channel that I spoke about, and we might be heading just towards the edge of this trend line or parallel channel. But this parallel channel is not really convincing to me because I don't have multiple touch points this side, and as I mentioned yesterday, parallel channels are deceptive many a times. Unless you don't have multiple touch points, don't really rely on them. And the best thing that you can rely on is horizontal supports. So this is a great horizontal support, so that's why I keep mentioning you can go short below 16,200, right? I'm not sure what news comes over the weekend, but for now it looks like Nifty is just taking a pause after that nice move this week, right? And let's see what's in store for next week. So if you have comments on Nifty views, just let me know. But otherwise, I think let's head to the second part of this video, which is of this live session, which is trading with me, right? Trade with Trendline Investor. So today, no fresh positions today. We're still holding 4 stocks over here. Upper Industries again came down. Tata Steel Positional Limited came down. It had a great 2.5% fall. Angel Broking also fell 2%, and our portfolio was down 1.63%. Right now, as I always say, remember the risk here. Right now, all these stocks are on a strong uptrend. That's why I'm going with such 30% position size. And also, we just to remind you, we are trading on a small capital, 1 lakh. This is a demo capital. I'm just using it as an experiment account, and I'm just showing you how we can compound this money much faster using big position sizes with small stops. Now, if you remember, our stop in Upper Industries was just 30 rupees, and we had taken a 15% position size, and today our stop is at 640. Right, we are still making some money out of this position. We'll still be up around 3% on our capital if our stop loss hits, and other stocks are in minor losses. Right, so as of today, no new positions as such. But looking at the charts for these 4 stocks, and also let's look at some other stocks that we have on our watch list. Right, so again we had a red day. Our stop is around 640 odd, so our stop is somewhere around here. Right, so until we don't go below 640, we are still safe. And even if you go below 640, we book the short-term position and we just come out and we move to some other stock. There are thousands of stocks, so don't get really married to a stock. And if you want to really compound your capital faster, you can't hold a stock for many months. You need to, ride the short-term moves and get out of it in probably a few weeks or few months. So for now, the sell-off on top is still, troubling the stock. And on the weekly, you see again we have a big candle sell-off on the top. Now that's why my stop is really close, because we have seen 2 weeks of continuous sell-off, and probably we might dip low also, no one knows. That's why my stop is at 640, and I'm trying to protect my profits, right? So that's Upper Industries. Tata Steel Bhushan Steel Limited, again a red day. It's a normal correction. I still don't see any problem in this. And on the weekly charts, we have kind of a doji again, maybe a pause in trend before we head higher. But the major resistance that we are seeing again is that level. I'd have preferred to close above 98.2, which is that level. And we've again not closed on a Friday. So maybe some more pause or some more days before we head higher. No one knows. But for now, stop continues to remain around 92.6 is a stop. Let's go here and check. Yeah, 92.5 is a stop loss for Tata Steel Bhushan Limited. And then the other stock was Kansai Nerolac. So again, we see we had another inside day. So this is really getting tight. We are kind of, after this day, we're just going higher, but we're having inside bars. And on the weekly, again, we closed higher, but still after that result week, we've still not had a good candle move up. But on the monthly charts, remember that we are breaking out from a very strong consolidation. It's almost 6-7 months of consolidation, and we are heading higher. Probably we had a good monthly close last week, and this month I'm expecting some strong moves in this stock. The last stock we have in our portfolio is Angel Broking. Again, there's a sell-off which is happening, but do remember that trend line which we are looking at, right? So we are looking, the reason why we took this trade was because we are around that trend line, right? And also the parallel channel, which is from here. If you just connect this point, so we have a kind of a parallel channel, and that's the reason why we took this trade, right? And this looks still good. There's not much problems. Today was again an inside bar. So to be honest, not much is happening in the mid cap and small cap space since Nifty started moving up. So probably we'll have to wait for a few more days before we head higher, right? So these are the 4 stocks, and coming back to our usual watch list, we still have some more stocks in our watch list. In case we exit some of the positions, then we look at these, right? So again, fact is still going sideways, not much movement. So I'd still ignore fact, nothing much happening there. See, Advanced Enzymes broke out of the symmetrical triangle on this day. We kind of retested, and we kind of again, had a good green, not a good green day, but kind of a doji today. So that downtrend is paused now. We tried heading higher, but we could not. So there is this good supply around the zone. So if you see this weekly charts, you will see that supply zone over here, right? So we have a strong supply zone over there, and even if you want to enter this trade, you can enter, but remember the stop loss is around 397. And as I always say, the reason this stock is taking support is because it did a breakout and it's doing a retest, right? So a breakout retest is nothing but a lot of demand which popped up here. Again, people who missed this rally, who have faith in the stock or who believe in the stock, is kind of accumulating the stock over here. So this is almost more than a week, more than a month of consolidation. Not sell-off, no moves up, so just going sideways. So it can give a good move, you just need to have some patience. Right, Jubilant Ingredient, again on the weekly, if you see, we have an inside bar, so that's 2 weekly inside bars. Now this is a beautiful setup, right? So if you really understand weekly inside bars, then you just have to keep a buy trigger above 627 and a stop loss at 592. So that's just a 30-point stop and a 5% stop, but you can literally, the stock can hit much higher. The volumes have been decent, even though it has been a weekly inside bar. The volumes have been decent, and this stock can actually do well. The fundamentals are fantastic, even though it was recently listed. Just go through the fundamentals, you'll be really appreciative of the company. And this is that trend line support where we took the trade around here, and then we exited, I think. But in case this comes back again, or we have an opportunity, I might look at this stock again. After this day, we've just been inside that big day here, so nothing really wrong happening there. Now we did have Easemetrip in the portfolio, in the watch list, and we had a down move 2 days after this 2 days move up, and again today we've had a good move up. Easemetrip, again, if you see on the weekly charts, it has given a good breakout again after almost a month of consolidation. So again, this is looking good. This is probably an ascending triangle breakout over there, and this is also a good portfolio stock if you want to consider. The company also again is one of the few companies, startups in India, which is actually being profitable. So again, a good one. So Likita again is taking support around the trend line. And also on the weekly chart, if you see after 3 weeks of down move, we are kind of taking pause around that zone, right? So again, a good stock, fundamentally good company in which provides infrastructure, for the gas and oil and gas pipelines and all that. So that's also a good one. So Crystal, if you see, we spoke about this trend line. It has exactly reversed from the trend line today. Again, a good portfolio stock. VIP Industries is again going sideways. This is still not broken out from a long-term downtrend. It's just consolidating. It's probably a cup and handle pattern, and if we move above 420, this can probably head to 500 odd levels quickly. CCL, if you observed yesterday, I spoke about this and why this is a good setup, and if you see today, we reversed right around that point. Right, again a very low risk setup if you're interested. Sun TV is again not looking good. This probably is a breakout failure. A lot of people have been, I think, went long this week, looking at this breakout last week, but it has been a disaster. So still, if you want to go long, the stop loss can be 500 odd and 510 odd, and you can take a position in this stock, right? So KEC, again, contracting a triangle pattern, a symmetrical triangle pattern, not moving down much, not going up much, and it is consolidating within this big candle over here. Again, a good setup to go long, but go long above 440 odd, right? India Mart is just going sideways, but again, see the contraction on the weekly time frame, right? So this is the setups that you want to be really looking at, because these can give a really good explosive move, right? So above 7,500, the stock can really move very fast, right? So this is what we've been having almost 2.5 months of consolidation since this week. Since 10th of May, it's been almost 3 months, and which is going sideways, right? So this can really again give a very good explosive move. If you see this month, the candle here had a nice wick, a nice tail, which shows that there was demand, and we just been going inside that range, right? So again, 7,500 level is the level to look out for, and if we head above 7,500, this can really give an explosive move. So if you are planning to add this, do let me know in the comment section, and if you have any questions, let me know. So I will add more stocks to this watch list depending on this week's scanner, but for now I think we can jump to the questions. Okay, so let's look at Mastic first, because I think I missed that question from yesterday. So I think Mastic is a fundamentally excellent company. It has been doing really well, and if you see this trend line, the stock has been, every time it's been coming and testing this trend line, has been hitting higher. So probably it's going to come again and test this trend line and head higher, but the trend looks fantastic. Just a short-term consolidation. It has not even made a single lower high, lower low. So this probably is going to just retest here on this trend line and head higher. But this is a setup that you want to be holding such stocks, and don't exit too early unless you don't have a lower high, lower low formation, right? So Mastic looks good, and let's move to the next question. So, hi Sagar. Bhumik asks, hey, are you just a trader or you do anything else also? If you don't mind me asking. Yes, I have a full-time job. Investing, positional trading is just that side thing, my passion and my hobby. So I hope that answers. Hey Akash, Anbu has a question. Surya Bank going down from my 260 level. Not sure whether it will reverse the trend. Anbu, by now you should be knowing that. I'm sorry, I'm typing Anbu. But don't hold a stock if you're not really comfortable with it. Just get out of it and look at it later again. Yeah, this is a strong downtrend. There's no question why you should be holding this. If you're holding it, it's just a normal retail behavior. If you're a beginner in markets, everyone does this mistake. You will learn slowly and steadily. But for now, this is a very strong downtrend. There's no reason I would be holding this stock, and there's no reason you all should be holding this stock. Can probably head higher. It can probably go lower even to 180 odd levels, because this is a parallel channel and it's just going down and down and down. So I've told this many a times, your money, you're earning this money after putting so many hours at office, and then you hold stocks and you buy stocks to keep going down. There's no reason for you to hold the stocks. So my simple rule, if you want to avoid investing in such stocks, is go to the use the CCI indicator, right? Put 34 here and then puts, okay. And if CCI goes, so this stock doesn't have much data, but probably let's take one of the stocks that we are holding. If you see, example, let's take Upper Industries. If CCI goes below, minus 100, right? Now, if you see the stock has been, going down, right? Now, see, moment what happens, CCI goes below minus 100, you should not be investing in such stock. It just keeps going lower. But just what happens, just observe what happens once CCI comes above 100, then it just goes higher. Right now, along with this, if you can combine support and resistance, you can find really good trades and avoid holding such stocks which are just going down. Okay, so I don't know when it will go up, really, but for now it's just a bad stock to hold. MS Shugwani asks, what is my view on Jindal Steel for August month? I have no idea what it will do, but I can give you a view of what trend it is in, right? So Jindal Steel. Right, you're asking for Jindal Steel and Power, right? Yes. Okay. So right now it's in an uptrend. Again, see here, this is another example, right? So here, if you had gone long, you had kept a stop loss, you exited. Again, from here, it's just been going up since CCI went above 100. So CCI is a very good indicator. Whenever it goes above 100, you might want to consider investing in that stock. It'll just keep going higher. The moment it goes below minus 100, it just keeps coming down, right? So that's as simple as that. It's just that we don't follow the rules, right? And you keep losing money. But everyone learns at some point. So you'll also learn. I think you're just starting. Okay, Jindal Steel and Power is in a beautiful uptrend. Yeah, so you can continue to invest in the stock, continue to hold the stock. Probably keep a stop loss around 370 odd, right? So that's my view. Hey Shiv, Hello, Suhas. View on NDTV question from Naresh and Greenlam. Greenlam is looking good. NDTV, I think, is in a downtrend. I'm not sure. Okay, it's an uptrend. Right. I'm just switching to the log charts. Right, so NDTV has broken out of long-term downtrend. So since 2007, it has been in a long-term downtrend. It has broken out in 2021. So it's a 14-year breakout, right? And again, if you notice, this CCI has been majorly in the downside, right? So it is in a good uptrend, Naresh. So continue to hold this. It has also broken out of a short-term consolidation. So you might want to hold this for some more time, okay? So also beautifully reversed from the trend line. If you see this trend line here, which I already drawn kept, it reversed right from the trend line, right? So looking good. It hit Aposake today. Congrats if you're holding, but keep adding more. Keep your stop loss around 69 odd. So Greenlam, I think it's a fantastic stock. It has been in a strong uptrend. Again today, amazing volumes. I'm not sure who bought that many stocks. That's 500,000 shares, but again a very strong stock. Continue to hold Greenlam, and it gave a nice breakout from here. It is just heading higher. Right, so it's also crossed all-time high, I think. So that's a very good sign. It has also given a very good closing this week. So continue to hold Greenlam. It might do really well in the coming days and months. So someone asked, can be a chance of that gap filling in Nifty? Yes, definitely. We never know, but just go with the trend, Suman. I think MS is going to answer your question. Naresh, again, Tata Steel Bhushan Limited is in T2T category. Do you see that as a problem? I don't really see that as a problem. These are the weird rules which are formed by SEBI. I just feel that a free market can decide the price much better than just keeping T2T. It just causes a problem because you can't do intraday trades and all that. But no problem because we are doing delivery trades. So Naresh, that's not a problem. Arun, in the last newsletter you mentioned about power sector. Why do you think it is going to be a good trend for power sector going forward? Arun, I already mentioned the reason why power sector is good. Go back to the newsletter and read why I mentioned that. It has given a very strong breakout. Let me just get this chart. I think it's CNX. Sorry, it's S&P. I'm not getting. Just a minute. I'm not getting the index, but just go back and read. In the newsletter last week, which I gave, you will find the reason why I mentioned that power sector is a good sector. It has given up basically 14-year breakout, and it's breaking out after 2008, and it's heading higher, right? So that's why I mentioned that. And also, I mentioned Tata Power also in the newsletter, and if you see Tata Power went up. The reason I mentioned Tata Power in this week's newsletter was because of this trend line support over there, right? And we kind of headed up, right? And also, if you see on the weekly charts, this is what I call a very strong consolidation. And last week, if you see, we had this beautiful wick at the bottom, which shows that the demand is probably, the supply here is probably absorbed, and this stock is going to head higher. That's one of the reasons I mentioned Tata Power as well, right? Dinesh is asking me view on Laurus Labs. So Laurus Labs looks good. I think we spoke about this recently because we had this beautiful wick here. This selling is been absorbed and it's probably heading higher. And this is in a long-term uptrend. Just continue to hold the niche. No problem. Sagar is asking maybe on other Fontech and Icon. Other Fontech. Yeah, again, I think it's in a good uptrend, right? Let's look at long-term charts. It's also given a breakout this week. So I think you're holding a good stock if you're holding this. This is what I call a strong breakout. And we had a similar breakout. This is a beautiful rectangle pattern breakout. Now, in case if this fundamentally is good, I might also include this in the newsletter. But if you see, this is a 10-year rectangle breakout, right? And that's a beautiful setup to, hold on to. Now, if you see, we had a similar breakout here, right? Now, see what happened here. It went from 14 to 670, right? We're having a similar setup again. It's a 10-year breakout. Now, Aadhar Fontech is excellent stock and continue to hold this stock, Sagar. Next is Alicon, Castelloy. Again, a beautiful setup. Breakout to all-time highs, no supply. And last week we had amazing volumes. Again, this week a good close. And this week we retested that zone and we have gone up. Right now, retest. This is just a retest, so nothing to worry about. And we had good volumes and a good move today. So continue to hold the stock. It can do well. Suman, Dinesh, Sir, Laurus can be a positional bet. Yes, it can be a strong positional bet. So you can try that. So Has, please tell me, so Has is asking, I'm sorry, I lost the chat. Yeah. Please tell me about some stocks you were trading in Feb and March in 2020 and how trading stop loss saved you from big drawdown. If you're trading many stocks, a separate video will be helpful. Yes, I will make a separate video probably in how I was holding some stocks. I still remember the futures trade which I had. I was trading a system positionally, and I had really good profits, and I came out of that early because that was one of the first times I saw such huge profits. And then I just kind of was telling myself, why did I exit so early? But still I made a good money on that short trade in Feb March. But many stocks hit stop loss. In fact, I thought that we are reversing at some point. I entered again and again hit stop loss. So I think some of the stocks really went up in a couple of days and then again came down. So I was really having a tough time. But I think April onwards, I started finding it much easier to trade. And when there's huge volatility, especially in that Feb March, many stop losses, in fact, all of my stop losses hit. But I was trying to, play the pullback trades. And, I post a lot of pullback trades. And many of the pullback trades hit stop loss again. Like I remember TCS, I took a huge position in TCS and it hit my stop. However, my stop was less. In terms of amount, it's always not more than 2% stop, and I had to sell off that stock, TCS, and then again I later entered again. So a lot of learning for me, especially because that was one of the I was not there in trading in 2008, so this was the first strong volatile market that I traded in 2020 March, and it did give me a good lesson. But I will make a separate video if I have time. So Santosh asks my view on decal. Dishman Carbogen, just going sideways, Santosh. So that's a nice support over there, right? So just consolidating after that move from 118 to 200. Now many stocks which move so much, from down will consolidate. And if you see, this is just a normal rectangle consolidation. You can call it as a Darvas box setup as well. It is just a consolidation happening since 24th of May. And this is because we have broken out from a downtrend. And if you want to trade this positionally, it's a beautiful positional bet about 230. So about 230 you can enter, and you can probably have targets of 290, 300 odd. Right, so that's a good setup which is going on. Then Akshat asked my view on SMC. SMC Global, I presume. It looks like sideways. Yeah, but since listing it has come down, and then we had this nice breakout over here, and then a retest, and then we headed higher. This is just a normal pullback in this trend up. Right, again, see, this is a good setup to take positional bets on, right? So this was a rectangle consolidation breakout here with volumes. Then we had a pullback, almost a 2-3 week pullback, and then we headed higher and we're just retesting. So probably this is also taking support around this trend line. Let's see. Yeah, not yet, but probably it's going to come towards this trend line test and head higher. So that's my Suman sir suggestion on weekend to do some sectoral index chart. Devito, I'd love to do it, but there are just so many questions. But I do share my sector to watch out for in the newsletter. Maybe you can watch that for, or else I can do a separate video on sector analysis and record a video and upload it. Maybe I'll do that probably. Ubiquitous again asks, hey Murugan, I would love to know where to learn technical analysis. So I already mentioned this in my video yesterday, right? The live session yesterday. There are 3-4 books which I recommend. If you want to learn technical analysis properly, then Technical Analysis of Stock Trends by Edwards and Maggie is the classic technical analysis book. Then you have Mark Minervini books. All 3 books are excellent. Then you have Stan Weinstein's How to Profit in Bull and Bear Markets. Then you have William O'Neill's, How to Make Money in Stocks. If you want to learn patterns, then go for Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns by Bulwoski. And there are many, many such books. But these are the 5 books that I would refer for you to read. If you read these 5 books, it's more than enough. You don't have to read anything else. Okay. So someone asks now, review on Esther and Sangvi Movers. You just asked yesterday, Suman, I think a couple of days back. I don't know why I should review again. But you should come back to me after a month, right? Probably. So Esther, I posted on Twitter again, right? It has given a breakout. So it has broken out from this point. And it's a good weekly close. I did post here. It's a very good weekly close. And this is probably heading higher, right? So that was a trend line retest which I spoke about, and that's a 9-month base consolidation and a good move this week with good volumes. So yeah, I think it's looking good. So continue to hold Esther. Sangvi Movers, right? So Sangvi Movers it has broken out from downtrend, right? You have to come back to me when it goes above 340 levels. Right? For now, it is just a normal breakout which happened here. You see, same breakout has happened again. So it's just going to head higher, probably again towards 340, 350 odd levels. But if it crosses 370, 380, that's when you're going to get really good move. Until then, this is just a box pattern, right? So if you see this, it is just trading in a major, in a multi-year consolidation pattern. So nothing much there. Hi Sushil Aunty, hello. Siva asks a view on Kotak Bank and HDFC Bank. Yeah, we've been seeing a very good move this week on Kotak Bank and HDFC Bank. So probably sell-off is done in Kotak Bank, and if you see, we kind of retested that trend line right around the trend line. Now this is the beauty of trend lines, right? So whenever you're able to catch such reversals, now if you were waiting for this and if you saw the reversal here, this was a beautiful long setup to trade, and now we have also broken out from this downtrend. So yeah, banks seem to be having some strength. They have picked up, the momentum has picked up on banks, so probably you're going to see some moves. This is also a wedge breakout, right? So it's a beautiful breakout from a wedge pattern, so looks good. HDFC Bank also had a similar kind of a move, but here nonetheless here actually we broke down here and we kind of retested that support zone. So now this becomes a very important zone, right? Now, so still for HDFC Bank to pick up momentum, it needs to cross this. Otherwise, it can still go into consolidation mode. It needs to cross that, and then probably we can see a much higher momentum. But for this week, that was a good candle. Last week we had doji, and this week we had a nice candle. Now, you should learn to read these candles. That can help you identify, good setups on the weekly charts. So that's my take. Abhinav, sir, can we use log charts for short term? In short term, log charts, linear charts really doesn't matter. You can use both. There will not be much difference. Log charts will start making difference when there are massive moves over a long period of time or even a short period of time. Basically, the moves are bigger. It kind of gives a much better view when you use log charts, right? Again, I have a blog already. Go back and read that blog. Akash, what's your take and experience with fib retracement? Do they work and do you use it? I don't really use fib retracements. They do work. That's why it's very famous. Most of you will use it, but I don't use it personally much. But you can try using it. But one of the examples I can show you for fib retracements last week I was checking is PNB Housing when I posted that view where it retested trend line, right? So I posted this view on Twitter. So fib retracement is something I do it like this. So I just check the entire move from this point, and if you see, this is retracing right around the 50%. Right now, fib retracements might not be really accurate. You have to look for a zone, but this was a perfect retracement around the 50%. And along with this, there was a trend line reversal. Right now, that's the reason I posted on this about PNB Housing Finance, and again, it's retesting that zone. Right, but it does work, but you need to know how to use it. Mayurasa, for a small account, is it advisable to book a fixed percentage, say 15 to 20% look for the stocks? Yes, that if you're able to do that very frequently, yes, that's a very good method. You can use that. But ensure to always take care of your risk reward, especially if you go to my sheet, which I share for Trade with Trendline Investor series. I also have this closed trades sheet, right? So go there and check the risk reward. That is very important. So you should know if you're risking 1 rupee in the market, how much are you making? And if you consistently make about 1:3 ratio, then, and if you can do that with a 50% accuracy, then you can compound your capital much faster. Okay, Abhinav asks, what is my view on Bombay Dyeing and Namkar? I think Bombay Dyeing has given a breakout, but it's just going sideways again, I feel. See, it has given a breakout now. I've already drawn that support zone. If you see, we have given a breakout here. It's just probably doing a retest. It needs some more time to head higher, but there's a lot of supply right now and it's just getting absorbed, right? But yeah, it can head higher. Navkar also has given again, I've drawn that zone here, and see, again, this week we had a nice demand wick at the bottom, right? So last 2 weeks it is trying to go down, but it's not going down. There is demand, and that's a good sign. Probably, yes, it looks good. You can go long above 55, or you can go long even now, but it keeps top around 44, right? So that's my view. Ubiquitous says, must be hard for you to review individual stocks. People ask fundamental questions instead of individual trades. Yes, I appreciate people asking strategies than questions on stocks. Siva asks, CCI plus 100 minus 100 works on all time frames. No indicator works on all time frames. Everything has a probability, and you need to get yourself accustomed to the time frame you're trading in. I am more comfortable on daily charts, weekly charts, and monthly charts, but I've never used CCI on any other lower charts. but the signal is the same. If it is above 100, it shows strong bullish momentum. If it is below 100, below -100, it shows strong bearish momentum. But I did post a position strategy on Nifty based on the early time frame on CCI on my Twitter pin tweet. Go and check that out. It's a profitable strategy, and you can see how it works there. Right? All you need to avoid is the whipsaws, and if you can take care of the whipsaws with proper risk management, then it might work well. Varun Kapoor asks KRBL on monthly. KRBL, I spoke about this I think in a couple of sessions before. It has given a breakout which is retesting, and on the monthly time frame it does look good. It just needs to break above, for 320 odd, and then this can head higher. But this is a long-term uptrend. It's a beautiful long-term uptrend. It's a wonderful stock to hold on to. It just needs to cross about 320 to pick up further momentum. Okay, so that's my view on KRBL. Akash asks, how long have you been trading? Also seems like you have done your analysis on all 5,000 scripts, as most scripts have drawings on them. Yes, I do have a lot of drawings on my this one. So if you actually go here, you'll see I have around, it's all about practice, right? So if you have a good amount of practice, I have around 3,841 drawings across 1,424 symbols. So that's how I've not perfected, but I know how to use trend lines, and I still don't rely perfectly on trend lines because short-term trend lines can break down, and I still use swing lower stops. But it's all about practice in any profession, anything that you want to do in life. So yes, I do have. So Varun Kapoor, I hope I've answered your question on KRBL. Suman Baumik asks, CNX Energy. No, CNX Energy is different, and the power is different. So CNX Energy is in a long-term uptrend. You see that chart, and you see exactly where we are getting rejected. So we are right around that zone, and we are getting rejected over there, right? So that's the long-term parallel channel. I think it's BSC. I'm not sure, some power or something. I forgot the index. I hardly look at power index, but last week I just looked at it because Tata Power and Adani Power were looking good. Akshat, why my 2 comments are deleted? I have no idea why comments are getting deleted. Vijay, you missed my question, sir. Vijay, maybe if you can post your views, if you can post a question again, I can answer that. Arish, graphite views. Graphite is looking good, Arish. It is just consolidating. So after the move down, it's just consolidating. So that move down was probably a result effect, or maybe something like that. I don't know really. But it has broken out. We spoke about this some time back. This was kind of a VCP contraction, and it has broken out here with good volumes. And it also has broken out from a short-term downtrend. So that downtrend. So it can head higher. In fact, I have much higher targets for the stock. And on the weekly time frame, it was just a dip, around the zone, which was, if you see the demand here, it was just a dip there. And I think this can head much, much higher. It was just a supply reaction around this highs. So around that high, there was a supply there because it's retesting that zone for the first time. I hope that answered your question, but I see much higher targets, even all-time highs around 1,100, are much higher. I hope that answered Arish. Turtle Trader, how to plan entry in any stock in case of CCL? Should we take entry expecting reversal trend line or wait for one higher high to form? No, you need to wait for a green candle to form. Right now, let's take the example of CCL. I posted this already last time, and I'll show you how I use log charts and how I use linear chart this time. Right, the first thing I looked at always is the long-term trend. Right now, long-term, if you see, this is a beautiful long-term channel, parallel channel. And I covered here around this point is when I covered this in the newsletter, right? And since then, if you see, I'm just going to delete everything. Right now, I'm on the log chart right now, and the last time, if you see where I posted this around here. So when it was reversing from here is when I, highlighted that CCL is going to reverse. But I either look for a doji or I look for a green candle, right? So, and if any of this is there, I just take a small risk and I deploy probably 15% of my capital for a quick short-term trade, and then I kind of exit when I want to exit. Because for me, if I had entered here, let's say I entered around 390, my stop was around 380. That's a 20 point stop, but the reward I get is probably much higher. Now, even if I get 100 points, so this move here was 380 to 490, 100 point move with just a 10 point stop. So that's a 1:10 risk reward ratio, and I'd be much happy and I'd just get out of the stock. But now what's happening is this has broken down again. Now I'm on the log chart, so I shifted the non-log chart, and now I draw this trend line again, cutting those points. And if you see, we've again beautifully reversed here, right? So I do this switch depending on how the chart has moved. So again, if you see, we have formed a green candle today, and I mentioned this yesterday in CCL when it was in watch list, that this probably is a reversal because this zone is kind of the breakout zone before, and we're kind of retesting, right? And today we had a good move up. Now again, these are the best setups that you might want to look out for. Just keep buy order above this day high and keep a stop loss on this day low. Or if you want to be safe, keep a buy above, after you see the green candle, keep a buy above this day high and keep a stop the previous day low, right? That's one of the ways you can trade. What's in anything? Just typing power will give you, yeah, I just type power, but I'm not getting it today. I don't know why. So, oh yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. So the reason why I said last week is because the power index is because this was a breakout from a multi-year, decade downtrend. Now, if you see since 2008, it just came down, right? And this was a perfect consolidation in a rectangular pattern. Now, rectangle patterns at bottom signify or indicate accumulation. Right, accumulation, basically someone has been accumulating the stock, or the big guys have been accumulating the stock for many years, or the other way around is that supply is slowly getting less. So when the supply is less and there's not much demand, it will just go sideways, and then you get a breakout when the demand supply balance shifts towards the demand side, and then the demand gets overpower the supply, then you get a move like this. And last week I said, because it was retesting this line over here, and that's why I said this is a retest. And if you see, we had a wick just last week close, right? And then we went higher this week. So this is again consolidating still. It has much higher potential, Tata Power or Power Grid or PFC or even a PTC. All these stocks are can look good and can give you good returns if you have patience. So that's my view on Power Index. Thanks. What's in the name? Sagar has Ador is a fundamentally good company too. Cement, steel, ancillary company has guided 40-50 minutes payout. I'm not really bothered about dividend payouts. I usually look for capital appreciation. Dividend payout is just an addition, right? So if you're a long-term investor, you might look for dividend payouts like ITC and all that, but I am not really looking for dividend payouts. Suman says, okay, I think that's Ador Building, yeah. Naresh, but bro, Ador Fontech was superb. Yes, it was superb. Jatin Chao, nice channels. Yes, nice channels. Thank you. I don't know why some of the messages are getting deleted. But maybe you're asking too many questions, right? Kirloskar Ferros. I think Ayush, I've already given my view on Avkar. Wonderla, I can check. Please do not ask more than 2 questions because it's already 45 minutes since we started. So it really makes takes my time also away. So try to keep it to 2-3 questions, and I think your messages might not get deleted. Okay, so here if you see, we just broken out here, we're just retesting. So just retest, you can continue to hold this. Okay, fundamental isn't good. Yes, I don't prefer fundamentally bad companies, but if you're technically trading, you can trade this. Okay, so any view for Jitina's Kirloskar Ferres? Kirloskar Ferres again is a good company. In fact, an excellent company. It has very good fundamentals. It's in a beautiful long-term. You see that beautiful long-term channel. So there's no reason for you to sell such stocks, right? So just continue to hold it. You found a good multi-bagger. You don't have any reason to sell. Just keep holding it, right? View on SAIL and ZEAL. SAIL, I've already given my view in the last week newsletter. It is in a good uptrend. We've broken out of the channel. You can go back and review my newsletter from the last week. I've covered this. ZEAL is still yet to break out from a downtrend, right? It's still just consolidating, right? It's still not breaking out. It needs to break out above 230, 240 levels. Only then it will head higher. Vibo Global, again, Vibo Global looks good. It is just consolidating. It might retest this trend line over here, probably just doing retest, and it might head higher. On the weekly chart also, this looks just like a normal consolidation around the highs, but just keep a stop loss and then you can write this. Okay, the trading journal is available in the video, so you can look at that and it can help you track your trades. Nishan says you have taken 30% position size in upper industry startups in your model portfolio. What is the maximum position size one should take, especially when trading with a higher capital? I think as and when the capital goes higher, I would not really recommend going above 30% because that gives an additional risk to your portfolio. On a smaller capital, yes, because you're trying to build your capital, it is still fine. But on higher capital, as and when your capital becomes higher, try to keep your risks, much lower, because you're already having big capital. You don't want it to compound at 40-50% every year. Even a 25% compounding every year will create massive wealth, right? So that's my view. on capital, high capital. Sandeep, Tata Power, I've given my view already. Motilal Oswal, I've already given my view yesterday on Twitter. So again, just a breakout retest. And if you see, this again is forming inside bar today, right? So I said that selling has paused, and we had a similar kind of volume compared to yesterday, right? Compared to 4th August, we had the same volume on 5th August, but with a lesser move, right? That shows that the stock is being accumulated, right? And again, today we had an inside bar, again with low volumes today. So it is an accumulation, it is retesting the zone. I'm also holding this personally. I didn't exit it somewhere here. I'm still holding, but my average is around 620 odd. I will make a video when I exit Motilal Oswal, but for now it just looks good. Keep a stop around 760 odd and you can continue to hold it. Okay, if demand is getting stronger, Zuman is asking, if demand is getting stronger, the ascending pattern will be more effective than regular pattern or not? I don't really get your question. But any pattern breakouts are powerful. Doesn't matter if it's rectangle or symmetrical triangle pattern or ascending pattern. The most reliable pattern is a rectangle pattern. Then symmetrical triangle pattern is one of the least reliable, because symmetrical triangle can morph into a rectangle pattern, right? So I always prefer a rectangle pattern. If I have rectangle pattern and a symmetrical triangle, I'll always go for rectangle pattern. Okay, Guj Alkali has been going really well, Ayush. I am holding as well. I've done all my buys. I also posted this on Twitter, and this week we had a brilliant breakout with amazing volumes, and this is set to head much higher. So for me, my initial target here is 620 odd, and then probably even 700, and we might see some consolidation there. It's just similar to graphite. We might see some consolidation around 670 odd, but for now I think the path is clear until 670. We might see 670 in the next couple of months. Okay, so that's my view on Gujarat Alkalis, Ayush. So I hope I've answered all your questions. So if you do, before exiting this video, do hit the like button right now before I answer one question from Sandeep. So Stride Pharma star, and it's just going sideways, right? So nothing much happening in this counter. So until this zone is not taken down, I'd still be holding this stock. So until it doesn't go below 700 close, you can still continue to hold Strides Pharma. Probably today was just a panic move down, but I think it will look strong above 800 odd. So if you want to enter above 800 odd, 810 odd, you can see much higher levels. Okay, I think Ubiquitous is not my manager. I don't even know who that is. Turtle Trader. Fine. I think that's it. Don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to comment how good this session is, or how regular this session is. That's how we get a lot of engagement, and more people will come back to our channel. And I will be making many more videos on how to trade, how to invest. I hope my video is already being helpful. And this weekend there's an interesting video coming up, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And Dinesh asks, can we expect basic trading videos like how to draw trend line, finding momentum stocks? Yes, I am going to make a lot of videos. It's just with my full-time job, I'm not able to make videos very often, but I will make videos regularly, and we'll have a lot of videos on how to trade and how to invest. So otherwise, take care and enjoy your weekend, and sleep well tonight, and see you again on Monday evening. Okay, until then.